Many times I ask for a key to a game just for the trailer alone, without knowing very well if it turns out to be what it appears to be. Escape from the Red Planet was one of those games that, in the end, was nothing close to what it seemed. Since you are here, why not leaving a like, a comment, or even better, subscribe to the channel? It's a massive help. Thank you a lot. Escape from the Red Planet is a tower defense practically in its purest form, just with a twist. It has a first-person shooter component, which is the component that aroused my curiosity for the game. But everything collapsed after I realized that it doesn't work very well, since we can't even control where we are shooting, being only dependent on a slow auto-aim system that works badly and doesn't make any selection of priorities. All of this could be saved by all the other components, not least because as soon as we load the game we are treated to a good musical selection, remembering the science fiction films of the 90s, but that's it. As soon as we started playing, we realized that our ship has crash-landed on Mars and our job is to escape. I know, the title doesn't leave much room to the imagination. The very polygonized graphics reminiscent of the first games on 128-bit consoles does not help any kind of immersion, with the many of the little Martian monsters ending up being very similar in their design, as if evolution had just given them a different color trinket or the ability to crawl through the air instead of crawling along the ground. Considering that this is a PC game, good luck trying to play it with keyboard and mouse, as the game presents itself with a circular layout, with the little Martian monsters attacking us from all directions. We are in the center of the map and we have to go to the right direction. Intuitively, I thought that it would be enough to press the keys in the direction I wanted the player to move, but that turned out to be incorrect. And even after finally connecting a controller to the computer, my perception of how the game was played was not immediate, which produced quite a few frustrating moments and many repeated levels until I realized that what the game wanted was for me to use the left analog stick on the controller to rotate to the right location. Although then I felt a bit stupid for taking so long to figure it out. I still have complaints, as consistently correctly hitting each of the 8 directions from which we are attacked is not easy, especially in the most chaotic moments. Chaos is also what the game becomes after a certain level. To defeat the different Martians, we have to build the right towers in the right place. In order to build those towers, we have to have energy, that we produce at a consistent rate depending on the number of solar panels that we have. The game is not as strategic as most other tower defense games, since each tower is more or only suited to a certain type of enemy, which practically eliminates much of the strategy, since we limit ourselves to decide how much we want to invest in solar panels, and from there on we just have to be able to make the appropriate actions per minute to be able to build the towers or the barriers without making mistakes, and replace them every time they degrade and end up self-destructing. In order to make the most of the more peaceful moments at the beginning of each level, it is imperative that we take advantage of the use of the first-person shooting. There are also times when, in the midst of the confusion, it is best to take advantage of our availability to complement the shots from the turrets with our firepower. This, again, brings frustration to the game, since we can't select the enemies we want to shoot at, and many times we place a turret that shoots enemies on the ground and we want to defeat the ones in the air. But the auto-aim won't let us do that, making the whole process quite annoying. In a nutshell, I'm not in love with Escape from the Red Planet. The idea of combining tower defense with a first-person component seemed like a good idea, capable of introducing more strategy and management to the game, but in practice it turns out badly, and that, associated with complicated controls and a weak strategic component, makes it difficult to see any reason to recommend the game at this stage. See you next time, guys. Bye!